Do I look blue? Hopefully I don't look blue. That's blue. This is blue. Okay, we're going with this. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of update you on where I'm at. If you watch my channel, you'll see that I was working on my second season of competitive bodybuilding and decided to go ahead and put the brakes on that because I didn't feel like it was leading me down a path of health, but more of down a path of disorder and not looking at food, exercise for the potential health benefits, but more from aesthetics. I didn't feel like it was healthy. It didn't feel good to me. There was a lot of cognitive dissonance going on. And so I just decided to stop competing. I decided that to get my health back on track, I wanted to adopt a plant-based diet. For the purposes of this video, we're going to define a plant-based diet as a diet comprised of primarily, my definition of a plant-based diet is 90% plant foods, 10% animal foods. You can do that on a daily basis, a weekly basis, whatever works for you. For me personally, I have been eating like a 99.9% plant-based diet with not a lot of animal product, if any at all. In the last 7 weeks, I've had cheese like 3 times, and it was just a very small amount, and it was in the beginning. I had 1 bite of bison because we bought a bison, my husband bought a bison ribeye from the farmer's market, and I was interested in trying it. And I had a 1 poke bowl with salmon and tuna on it. So other than that, my diet has been completely plant-based. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I had the goal of lowering my cholesterol, because 10 years ago, I came off of a 5-year-long vegetarian diet with some vegan moments sprinkled in there. And I say that not to offend any vegans, because I understand that veganism is more of a lifestyle, a philosophy, and not a diet. But for the purposes of this video, when I refer to vegan, it's going to be 0 animal product. So in that time, before that, 10 years ago, that's what I was coming off of, because I found bodybuilding, because I was told that I needed lots and lots of protein to build muscle. And let's just face it, 10 years ago, we did not have the dairy substitutes and meat substitutes that we have today. It's a lot easier today to say, oh, okay, I'll go pick up some whatever in the freezer section. So that's why I ended up going back to eating meat again. Since I started eating meat again, my cholesterol that was tested when I was actually a vegetarian, the last results that I had, I cannot remember all of the numbers, and my filing cabinet is an hour away in storage, so I can't dig those up right now, but I will get those and rehash this later. The last blood work that I had as a vegetarian, my total overall cholesterol was 150. The very next year that I had blood work done was also a year after I had been eating meat again. So not even a year. It was probably more likely around 8 to 9 months, because anyway, I have the timeline in my head, but it was between 9 months, 8 to 9 months to a year. Let's just say that. And my cholesterol was up over 220. And I remember my doctor and I both being like, what in the world, right? And I told my doctor, I said, oh, she was like, what has changed? What have you done differently? I was like, well, I started exercising more, I said, and I started back eating meat. but I've only been eating lean chicken. And at that time I had only been eating lean chicken, chicken breast, and I'm not sure if I had included any turkey. I can't remember all of the little minute details of what I was eating, but I do remember specifically that I was eating mostly chicken because before I ever went vegetarian, I already didn't eat pork or red meat. That was just a decision that I had made for myself based on how I felt when I ate those foods. But I was under the assumption because I was eating such a lean meat that it wouldn't impact, I guess, my cholesterol as much. Boy, was I wrong. So, really all I said chicken and fish. So then my doctor explained to me, she was like, all those items still have cholesterol. If it's an animal product, then it has cholesterol. It doesn't have anything to do with the levels of fat in the actual meat. Cool. Point being, and that kind of ramble there, is my cholesterol has never been below 220 since I started back eating meat over 10 years ago now. So it's never been lower than that. The highest it's been is 268, which I found those numbers. So I have for you today three sets of numbers taken at 3 different points in time. All right. And like I said, as far as showing you my cholesterol when I was a vegetarian versus less than a year, maybe a year after I started eating meat, the differences, I do have those numbers. Like I said, I have all of my medical records. I will dig them up for you some other time. You just have to trust me on that one for now. All right. I will not lie to you because I don't have a dog in this fight, right? I'm not trying to sell anything. Well, I might be trying to convince you of some things because these are things that I believe to be true. But right now, in 2020, I ain't buying what they're selling because doing my own personal research, I'm not able to come to the same conclusions. Some people I really respect a lot. Some people who should know better. I don't know what's going on. I just know I'm not able to find the exact same evidence that these people are finding. Convincing evidence, I should say. Anyway, I'm going to go over these numbers with you. I did actually test my B vitamins. However, those results have not come back yet. I got the current cholesterol results back on Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. So it's been almost a week. Still waiting on the B vitamins. They're processing. I assume either today or tomorrow, but I wanted to go ahead and make this to go ahead and get it out there because I haven't put a video out yet and it's time, right? So I don't want to fall too far behind because I would like to grow this channel, which I see y'all out there watching my videos and not subscribing. It says something about 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So, I would really appreciate it if you would just subscribe, please. Helps me out as far as wanting to grow this channel. And I'd like to grow this channel because I think that I have the ability to help other people and to spread a positive and accurate message when there's so much fuckery out there. So I would really like it if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so now. I would appreciate that. And share it with your friends and family and groups, like people who you think may be interested in my content. All right, so now that we have finished that commercial break, we will go into the numbers. All right, so first of all, I would just like to say that, like I said in the other videos, the reason why I was not concerned about my cholesterol being up over 220 points is because my doctor kept telling me that my HDL was high, so my heart was protected, so she wasn't worried about it. Now, when my cholesterol was at its highest, the doctor said, okay, well, let's retest in 3 months, and if your cholesterol is not down, we should consider a statin. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not doing that because my cholesterol isn't high because I need a statin. My cholesterol is high because I need to adjust my diet. And, you know, there's been, in the last 10 years, there's been the whole cholesterol, dietary cholesterol does not impact blood serum levels of cholesterol. That's what we're being told. In my N=1 experiment, that is not true for me. Okay, I can't sit here and say that's not true for all people because it's not true for me. But what I can say without a shadow of a doubt, given these numbers that I'm about to give you, dietary cholesterol absolutely impacts my blood serum levels of cholesterol. And you very well may be in the same boat. You don't know if you don't keep up on your blood work. So, also another thing that people are saying to people with high cholesterol, because people told me this, people I told me this very same thing is, oh, I didn't know. It was never a doctor that told me this. It was just people in the health space, fucking, I don't know, like people who I guess I gave them the credit of thinking like, well, they're smarter than me. They know more than me. You know, they're masters, PhDs, yada, yada, yada. No, I regret listening to that because doing my own research has shown me different conclusions. So the argument was, oh, don't worry about your high cholesterol. Overall cholesterol is not as important as the particle size of your cholesterol. Meaning cholesterol, like you have LDL cholesterol, and then LDL cholesterol can be made up of very small, medium, large particles, right? So they say if your LDL cholesterol is comprised mostly of large particles, then it is more protective. It's not as dangerous as small particle LDL or VLDL, very low density particles. That is true. However, okay, where if you have high LDL, then from the research that I've found, the studies that I have looked at, and I will link all of the research and stuff that I have found on this topic down below in the description if you're interested in taking a look. But from what I'm finding is that, so let's say person A has high LDL, but it's comprised mostly of large particle. And person B has high LDL, same levels, and it's comprised mostly of small particle. The person with small particle LDL may have a 63% chance of heart disease or heart attack, whereas the large particle it drops to 44. That's not protective enough. It's like 63% chance or 44% chance. Yeah, I would like to have the 44% chance too, but if your LDL is low, period, then you can have little to zero chance of heart disease or heart attack. Does that make sense? I hope that I'm explaining this a way that makes sense, because yes, particle size does matter, but what matters more is the overall number. Point is, don't listen to people who tell you, oh bro, it's about the particle size. It's not about the total overall number, because yes, it is. Current research, the best science that we have to date, does not say that. And that's the problem that I'm having with it. Also, with the whole dietary cholesterol does not impact blood serum cholesterol, that comes from if you already have high cholesterol and you're eating high cholesterol, it's not going to increase your numbers by much. So they say, but like I said again, my numbers reflect something different. Basically, the studies that when people say that, the studies that they're referencing are studies that show, okay, so if you have a cholesterol of 200 and you're eating a bunch of cholesterol, dietary cholesterol, then you're only going to see like a small, maybe a small increase. So that's why they say it doesn't affect it much. But if you're a person going from 0 cholesterol in the diet to high cholesterol levels, high levels of cholesterol in the diet, then the cholesterol is going to skyrocket significantly more than someone with already higher cholesterol levels. Now that we've said that, hopefully I can edit this in a way where it is concise and makes sense. Here are my numbers. I will lay them out for you. Let's start with my highest cholesterol ever recorded. In 2017, I had blood work done and I was eating a paleo style diet. I was actually leaner than what I am now, probably by about 10 to 15 pounds leaner than what I am now. And I was humming along just fine. Everything's going great. So I went and got blood work done because that's the responsible adult thing to do. And my total overall cholesterol. And when I say a paleo diet, y'all, I was putting butter in my coffee. I explained all this in another video. Butter in my coffee. I was doing the bone broth. I was doing, grass-fed animals and just eating a fowl, which is the organ meats of the animal. Just trying to use all of the animal because that would make the most sense, right? I'm trying to cover up my hair because I was not fixing it today. Anyway, so my total overall number was 268. I'm going to say that again. My total overall number was 268 in 2017, but in 2009 it was 150. Okay, so we're talking like 118 points higher. All right. This is the numbers that made my doctor want to put me on a statin. Okay, so my HDL was 66. My LDL was 188. The U.S. guidelines state that you should be under 130, and the research to basically heart attack proof yourself or to save yourself from plaques building up in your arteries or atherosclerosis is between 50 to 70. And here I was sitting with 188 LDL. Triglycerides were 71, which is really low. That's actually my triglyceride to HDL level was a 1, which is really good. You want that to be under a 2. But my HDL cholesterol level was a 4. And I'm pretty sure you want that to be under, it needs to be under 3.5 according to my notes. 3.5, but mine was a 4, so it was high. So that was not healthy. The only thing I had going for me at that point was my triglyceride to HDL ratio. So here we are. We're going to fast forward. I didn't do anything about it. I just listened to people who said particle size, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to this year, well, last year, 2019. I was like, okay, well, I should probably retest my cholesterol levels again because it's probably the responsible thing to do. Oh, it was the heart health test I took. I wanted to take the heart health test, test my cholesterol, my CRP levels, my HbA1c, all of that. If you're interested in that, I will link the video I did on that, the Everlywell, the very first one that I did. Shows you how to take the test and the whole 9. So I'll post that for you. Like I said, this was on October 4th, This was on October 4th, 2019, and my total overall cholesterol was 234. My HDL was 71, so it was a little bit higher. My LDL was 139, and my triglycerides were at 94. So my LDL is elevated and my total overall cholesterol is elevated. My HDL was good and my triglycerides were okay, you know. So I had a HDL to triglyceride level of 1.3, and I had a HDL cholesterol level of 3.3, which is still really close. At least it wasn't a 4, right? So stopped eating the paleo style diet, started eating just a regular omnivorous admittedly bodybuilder diet. So my protein was really high, and by really high, between 135 to 150 grams of protein per day from animal sources, primarily from animal sources. So decided that I was going to stop competing and adopt a plant-based diet. This was 7 weeks ago. About 6 weeks when I actually got the results back or did the test or whatever. And the first time in 10 years, my cholesterol is normal, which I am, for me, it's still high. It's higher than I want it to be, but I'll go ahead and give you the numbers and then kind of tell you my plan moving forward for those who are interested. I got my results back on February 5th. So this is a full like October, November, December, January, February. So I guess it's a full 4 months after the last test, and eating plant-based for 6 to 7 weeks out of that time frame. My cholesterol my total overall cholesterol is now 190. My LDL is 110. My HDL is 60. So my HDL did go down 11 points. And here's the concerning part, and it's not, I don't want to say concerning, it's just, I want my levels to be spot on, spectacular, all right? Or my diet is failing me. So what I am in pursuit of is finding the diet that works for me, that is also going to give me the best cardiovascular outlook, and which is indicative of other things that I have that run through my family that I feel like I should pay attention to. So my HDL to cholesterol ratio overall went down from 3.3 to 3.17. So 3.2 went down 1/10 of a point. And my triglyceride to HDL, it went up quite a bit. It went up about 0.5%. So it's at 1.75, and you want to keep that under a 2. So I need to lower my triglycerides, because like I said, my triglycerides came in at 105. Just a recap, from in the last 4 months, half the time I was eating a plant-based diet, I reduced my total overall cholesterol by 44 points, lowered my LDL by 29 points, and then my HDL lowered by 11 points, and my triglycerides rose by 11 points. Like I said, well, maybe I didn't say, but in the beginning of my plant-based diet, I was eating a junkier plant-based diet just to kind of make the transition doable, or just to make it easier for myself. I was eating more junkier food. As you could see, like I was eating the plant-based ice creams, the plant-based cakes, and things of that nature. And I think moving forward, I can do better. I know moving forward, I can do better. Just a lot went into that. I was coming off of dieting. I was trying to find a happy medium with eating a healthful diet. And I was transitioning, basically. It's no excuse, but that's the way that I did it. And I'm cleaning things up now, and that's what matters. So I'm happy about that. So here's what I need to do. So what am I going to do now? I need to lower my triglycerides and boost my HDL a touch. And the way that I plan on doing that is I'm going to incorporate more olive oil into my diet because it does help to boost HDL. I'm going to add more purple produce, up my omega-3s like flax, walnuts, chia, omega-3s from plant sources. Increase avocado, which is said to raise HDL, and increase my soy consumption. I should probably also add some cardio. So I decided that, I was like, okay, well, what do I like to do? I like doing like the dance cardio. I like running, but the thing with running is I don't want to be a habitual runner because I don't want to run off my glutes and hamstrings, which has a tendency to happen when I incorporate running. But I think if I keep it to just 1 or 2 times a week, short distances, then I won't literally run my ass off. And that was the problem back in whatever, when I was running 8, 9 miles, 10 miles, you know, at a time. And I ran every day when I was in the military. So that is, I've chosen, I'm going to go buy a bike because I've wanted a bike for a very long time. So I'm going to start cycling and doing some running for cardio. And as soon as it will stop raining outside, maybe I can get into a groove. I've still been lifting. That's another thing. I guess I don't know. This video is mainly supposed to be about my cholesterol, but while we're on the topic and talking about plant-based diet, I do want to say that I did take a week off from the gym. I actually hurt my back because I was kind of sprinting with my dog and on the sidewalk in bad shoes. And a muscle got really tight in my back, and I was just like, holy shit. Like, so I ended up taking a week off from the gym. But even, you know, eating a plant-based diet, even taking a week off from the gym, my numbers are the same as far as my lifts are concerned. I was in a cycle of training where I was doing box squats. I was box squatting 185 pounds for anywhere from 8 to 10 reps. I'm still able to do that. And my bent over rows, 135 pounds, 6 to 8 reps, depending on what set I'm on. And I can't think of any lifts that have, none of my lifts have suffered, is my point. I'm not having any problems recovering. I'm not excessively sore. Since I hurt my back doing whatever it is that I did, my back has been really stiff, but I've been stretching it out and adopting a stretching routine because I think that's the reason why historically I've been getting injured more. I've sustained more injuries not in 2020, but in 2019 than I have in the last 10 years of my lifting career. And I think a lot of that has to do with A, pushing my boundaries, but B, because I do have an active and physical job, and C, because I do not stretch. And so I've been, the last 5-6 mornings, I've been making time anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour in the mornings of just solely stretching, and I feel a lot better. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna leave that here. I just, like I said, wanted to talk about the cholesterol thing. This video looks kind of long right now. I apologize if it is, but maybe it'll be interesting and informative. And I will update you on my B vitamins. The reason why I wanted to test my B vitamins was just kind of to get a baseline, because I know that vegetarians, vegans, plant-based people on a plant-based diet can sometimes have deficiencies in B12 primarily, and vitamin D, which I already have an issue with anyways. So I supplement, and I'm going to be testing that next month, see where I'm at there, because it's been a few years since I've actually tested my levels again. I mean, yeah. So that's that for now, and I will talk to you soon. I'll make another video probably about health. I have so many video ideas I have written down. It's a lot, and not all of them are about health. A lot of them actually are about massage. So maybe interesting for you. That's it. Please, please subscribe to my channel. Watch my videos in their entirety. Give me feedback. Do thumbs up, comment, do something. Help grow this channel. That's what I want, what I really, really want. So for now, I'm gonna zigga zigga.